Ahoy, ahoy, everybody.
Hey! What's cool, everybody? Forgot
Hey,
to.
Mark. Sorry if I already missed you. Hope you have a good time. Mark Tweedale brings up a good thing to think about. Cullen Bunn has a new YouTube channel called The Colonoscopy, where he just talks about horror stuff. And the first episode went up today, and it's a doozy. It's great. I watched it for lunch.
Colonoscopy is spelled Cullenoscopy.
Mm.
Hey,
Carrie. Hey, Keith. Hey, Alpha Llama Llama. Hey, Emma. How's everybody doing?
Hey, y'all.
So, this one might be a short one. I feel like I say this all the time, where I'm like, today's gonna be a short one,
And it's not always a short one.
But I'm probably not going to draw anything today. I thought I would show this. I did a little bit more on this guy's hair last Sunday.
Hi, Seth.
Called it quits on this guy. It's already very dry, which is nice. I guess it's been a whole week, but so I have had some paintings that after a week are still not quite dry. This guy's great, and man, I am really loving this Arches oil paper. The pad for this looks like this.
Oh, Keith's disappointed that you pulled the tape without them, honey. Did you record it?
No, sometimes my tape peels are private.
Hi, Alex.
I like to keep at least a few tape peels to myself.
Well, that's reasonable.
Yep. So that's that guy. But today I thought it would be fun. I pulled out one of my art supply drawers, and I thought it would be fun to go through it and look at all the stuff. This guy has these little wooden trays. This is like this is from IKEA, the gray metal shelf or drawer thing. I have 4 of these IKEA guys sort of stacked up down here.
And then you have the wood countertop sitting on top of it.
Yeah, and then I put a wood countertop on this. But then I made these wooden trays to go in there. So I have like these wooden dividers inside that I made. And then these little trays that can slide around on top. I haven't done that for every drawer, but I made a couple of these. And it's nice. It works really well.
Hi, Cooper.
What up, Cooper?
So we got a couple of things. What's cool with Emma is that she's been narrowing down her BlueSky followers. That is organizing. Oh. Yep. And then it's been a rough week for Keith.
Oh no. What's going on with Keith?
Tried explaining to his boss why using AI on everything is demoralizing and overwhelming, and the boss didn't get it. And then Keith had to work 2 hours late.
That is like
a double whammy.
That seems to be the thing with AI, where if like you want to do something good with AI, it's going to take you longer than just doing it yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a pretty reasonable rule of thumb, Emma. I forget how many people I follow on BlueSky, but it's kind of too many. Like, I have thought about unfollowing some people just to make my timeline a little bit more manageable. Yeah, those political bot accounts are so irritating. Those resist bots are just as like irritating as like the Trumper bots.
Alpha Llama Llama is organizing too, just not on YouTube.
I think it had a post-credit scene. Said it did. Yeah, I think the Karate Kid came out before like post-credit scenes were a thing. In fact, when the first Karate Kid came out, I don't think anyone had any plans for a sequel. The sequel didn't come out for a long time. Yeah, the thing about like, especially like LLMs, the large language model stuff, is that they don't actually know anything. They just use a statistical model to come up with what the next word will be, and sometimes their model is, well, often the model is just made up stuff. And like as these AI models are becoming more and more trained on their own AI slop, they're just going to get worse and worse. It's such a bummer. I was reading an article about it earlier today that was saying that the guys who do OpenAI, the guys who do ChatGPT have like, I don't know, they expect to spend $100 billion by 2030. So in the next 5 years, next 5.5 years, they expect to spend $100 billion. And like at that rate, every time you use ChatGPT, it should cost like $20, you know? Doesn't make sense. I don't think.
It's not, it doesn't seem sustainable. Like either way, if they charge customers who use it an amount that will pay for that amount of money they're spending, it's not sustainable for the customers. And it's not sustainable for them to continue doing that without getting money somehow. And
then when it crashes, the number of investors who lose $100 billion are going to be the number of banks that have lost, you know, tens of billions of dollars on this. Anyway,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
We're going to end up paying for it in the end. Unless we get a good government or something. Yeah, Midjourney being sued by Disney and Universal is pretty great. I do worry a little bit that if Disney and Universal come up with a settlement that actually protects them but makes everyone else, like all the people like me, more open to AI theft, that would be a bummer. I could see that happening. Yeah. But yeah, like Alex says, I hope that the Disney and Universal lawsuit helps individual artists some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Some miraculous way. All right, so let's look at some human tools.
Okay. I will say the other cool news that came up in the chat later.
Well, what is it? We can say cool news.
Well, Carrie got confirmed at Ocon for a panel with Phil Hester.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. She'll share the details when she has them.
Nice. Okay. So we'll start off with one of my favorite tools here. This is my Weems and Plath 10-point divider.
You used that last week.
You
used that last week, right?
Nope.
No, okay.
Last week I was oil painting, right?
There was... Oh, that was the week before then. Yeah.
I don't
it was
think
when you did the panel. You did the panel. Can you put it in the camera?
Yeah. I don't think I've had this thing out in months and months. I don't think I've had this on the stream for a long time.
You're right. It was a black one that looked like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
There was something similar that was black metal that you used it for Doctor Strange for the background.
Doctor Strange?
Holy mackerel, you know where this is coming from?
No, I don't.
I do now. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I was watching one of your very first video.
Oh.
And that's when you used it.
That's very likely.
But it was a very similar tool to this.
Yeah, so this guy is wonderful for doing perspective drawing. The way I have often used it in the past is that I will figure out, like, I need perspective like this. I'll make this darker.
Yeah, Alpha Llama is all. What's wrong with you, Tyler? You don't remember that thing from 5 years ago?
So then I can divide it up into 10 times, and then I can come way over here. Oops. There we go. I can make little ticks for these guys. Then I can get all these cool perspective lines. And before I started penciling everything in Clip Studio, this was actually usually like my whole morning. I would pull out the page that I'm going to be penciling, and I would sort of do a rough sketch of everything, and then I would figure out what perspective I need to figure out, and then I'd spend most of the morning like ruling out my perspective lines.
Alpha Llama Llama says, DWJ is always whipping his 10-point divider on his streams. DWJ. You know who Alpha Llama Llama was talking about.
God damn. Man, my problem with names is like so embarrassing sometimes.
Mm.
Daniel Warren Johnston.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
And this is how you work out vertical lines on a grid like this. You figure out what the center is, and you go from one thing through the center, and that gives you the next line.
Wait, why are you making the N shape?
So that I can figure out how to draw how the width of these sections will shrink as it goes back in perspective.
But what about not the vertical line, but the crookedy line?
The diagonal one?
Yeah, yes.
That's basically that's only a construction line. That's just so I can figure out. So I go from this point.
Yeah.
And I go through the center.
Oh, through the center.
And then where it lands is where the next line comes up.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And now these are getting smaller in the correct perspective.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Daniel a couple times, and he's always very, very, very nice. He's great, man. I'm kind of in awe of his work sometimes. Like, his writing is so good, and his storytelling is so fantastic. So that's my 10-point divider. This thing was like silly expensive when I got it. I think it was like $110 or something. But it comes in this really nice pleather case. What else do I got in here? I mentioned this on a stream recently too, and this thing is pretty fun. This is like
it's like a compass.
No, it is before they had airbrushes. This is what they used before you could have an air compressor sitting under your desk. Mm-hmm. And this, you stick this end in your ink or whatever, and then you blow through here, and your breath comes out this end, and as it draws across the top of this long tube right here, it creates a vacuum and sucks up whatever your ink or paint is, and then spits it out.
So it's a straw. That vertical piece is a straw.
Vertical piece is a straw. Yeah, it's a hollow tube. These are both hollow tubes.
Yeah. Hi, Rudak.
I'm not going to use it because it's a pain in the neck to clean up, because you have to clean out this long straw.
But it is an airbrush.
Huh. Yeah. What else we got? I got these little calipers. These are cool. I don't know where. I got this used somewhere, I think. think I got this at a thrift store or something.
That thing is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Cost me $4.80. So you can do like the old, how big is this thing? Oh, it is 12 millimeters, or half an inch, roughly. And these are some packs of razor blades I got in here.
I forgot to mention to folks at the beginning that there are bingo cards on my BlueSky account, and Tyler retweeted it. Oh, excuse me, reposted it today. So actually, if you go to Tyler, Mr. Tyler Crook's BlueSky, you will be able to see the announcement for today's live stream, and the bingo cards are there.
And this is a guy that I have talked about a couple times, but I don't know if I have ever demoed. This is a swivel blade. And this is, I used these a ton when I was, in my very first art job, we were cutting ruby lith, which like, I don't know if you've never heard of or seen ruby lith, it's like the funnest stuff in the world. Or, it's a giant pain in the ass, but it's very satisfying to peel. It's like 2 sheets of plastic, a very, very thin red membrane, and you cut it out, and then it peels away from a clear plastic sheet underneath.
Can you pull the camera back?
Maybe. I was going to zoom it in so I could show like cutting.
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
So we used a swivel blade like this. This little tiny blade right here swivels. So you can make these really tight turns without having to like pick up and reset your hand. And it doesn't work super great on paper, but like with really thin films that are intended to be cut like this, like it works gangbusters. It's incredible. And like this is what like if you're cutting like screen tone stuff, these are really, really good for that. And this is an X-Acto one, and it's kind of a crappy one.
There's better ones?
Yeah, I don't know if they still make them, but like the ones we used when I was cutting ruby lith with it all the time were like just super, super nice. They set the blade, like the blade was somehow back a little bit further, so it like swiveled a little bit nicer.
It does look really cool.
Yeah. And the replacement blades are these little guys. Oops. You can see it's like a little guy. Just a little guy.
It looked a lot easier to do it with that than with an X-Acto blade, like a normal one.
Yeah, for sure. Because a normal X-Acto, you have to like, you can't make like really tight curves without like spinning your hand and the blade in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And it can be really, really difficult.
Yep.
These are for some other kind of blade I got that I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. I should keep it in here. This was like a different kind of a X-Acto blade. I don't remember who makes this, but it's got like it's kind of like a number 11 or 16. Is that what this is? No, 16 is the wedge one. The 11 is like the long. Anyway, I got this guy too. Whatever.
Hi, Comic Tropes.
These are beautiful. My sister actually got these for me years and years ago, and they're antique nibs. Well, they're probably not antique, but they're getting close to it. And man, they just came in this really pretty box. They're just not really good for drawing. They're designed for, you know, writing, so they're not like they're not great to for me to use, but they're beautiful and I can't get rid of them. I think this is...
Maybe you'll find something to use them for.
Yeah. I think Michelle gave me these at the same time, this box too. But you know what? I don't remember if this is like a different kind of a nib.
Mitch gave these to you? It was Mitch that gave these to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
they are different. Maybe I should give these guys a little bit of a try. Is that showing up on the camera a little bit? They're like slightly different shapes. Actually, they're pretty different. I should give these guys a shot and see if I like them. And this is my little nib container. These are the nibs that I use the most. This guy's the Hunt 102. Is that what this guy is? Yeah. This is my favorite. It's a very good mapping nib. Use this guy all the time. I used to use this guy a bunch. These are the 108s, I think. Yeah, 108. And it's made out of a softer metal, so it's a lot more flexible. This one feels a lot more like a brush when you use it.
whoa.
Hey, what up, comic tropes? Oh, it's a good day for it, because today's Friday the 13th, right?
Oh, I only now got that. So Comic Tropes is going to draw Jason Voorhees to celebrate.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Comic Tropes. Please hit the like button if you like the live stream so far.
So this is the other nib that I have used a ton. This is what I got when I was starting on Bad Blood. I bought a ton of these because I was tearing through them. And then I kind of switched, so I still have a bunch left over. But these are also very good. They're very flexible. They're just not quite as sharp as the Hunt 108 or the Hunt 102. And they also have these little, like, I don't even know if I can show them on the stream if I zoom way in. It's got like these little cutouts on the side that I presume are to help like the ink flow somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, I see it. It's like a T shape.
Yeah, but I like to clean my nibs with toilet paper because it
It
sucks
would
up
tear
the ink really nice, but it gets all like stuck in there, and it's a
Yeah.
pain in the neck to clean.
I take it back what I said about Jason Voorhees. Comic Tropes is asking if you're gonna draw.
Oh, if I'm going to.
He can't do it because his shoulder hurts too much today.
Oh no.
I hope your shoulder gets to feeling better soon.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to draw anything today, to be honest.
Ever again.
Oh, Keith, you might be right about that those notches could be for flexibility to help the tines open up a little bit.
Oh.
So they can do that. Yeah, I bet you're right.
Whoa.
And I don't remember what this guy is called. They always they stamp the name of them on here, but it's always just like so shallow and so impossible to read.
You are smart, Keith. We
And I
knew
got
that
a couple
already.
G-nibs stuck in here. These guys are great. This is like a random assortment.
You're
I
a
think there's
G-nib.
some G-nibs and stuff in here. These are more like lettering nibs.
I can't see anything,
Oh.
honey. Can you go back a little bit?
Yeah.
From when you flexed?
I was like gonna make a big deal of using these guys for a while. These guys are actually pretty nice. But they're nice and sharp, but they wear out super, super fast.
You were gonna make a big deal about it?
They were gonna be like my main squeeze for a while. This is a Hunt Imperial 101. It's beautiful.
We can't see it.
I can kind of see it.
Oh, there we go. Am I too far behind? No?
It's just hard to show these itty bitty guys.
Yeah.
And then these I bought a ton of. Man, I buy too much of this crap. I bought
or just the right amount.
I bought these because I was pretty and I guess I'm still pretty confident that this one, this is the general. I'm almost certain this is the kind of nib that Mobius used.
There we go. You're very kind, Comic Tropes. You're welcome. We're glad to make the show. We're glad you're here too.
So I think this was the Mobius nib. I don't remember the name of the company who makes this. I think it was a German company. Anyway, I didn't like it. So I did. So I don't use them.
You didn't like using it?
Yeah. So that's my main nib storage. These guys are for, I gotta zoom out again probably. So this thing is for cleaning my liner tool.
To me, you're holding up a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's not.
Wasn't showing you. That's my private toilet paper. Where did I put my liner tool though? It's like I've showed it off in the past. It's like a little. Oh, it's in here.
You found it.
Oh. Here's my liner guy. This guy has a little pot. You pour some ink in there, and then you draw with it. And then they come with these, which is just a little tiny. Gotta zoom in again. It's like a little tiny wire to clean out the itty bitty tube at the bottom here.
And I've seen you use this before, and it does a really smooth line.
Yeah, this thing was great. In fact, I got I saw one, so I grabbed it, and this is like a slightly smaller one, like a sharper tip. But I got this in the middle of Out of Alcatraz, which I did not rule any of the panel borders in Out of Alcatraz. Oh. So it's like, so it's just been sitting here waiting for me to use it.
Carrie says it looks like something a gnome tinkerer would have. Does. They're very cute. Hope you get to use them soon on the stream.
I got this guy that I don't know why I have this in here. I think I was like using this as a sculpting tool, and then I was using it for rub-on letters. I should put it in front of the camera. I was using it to do some of those like transfer letters, which is like a really good burnishing tool for little tiny letters. But yeah. Here's this.
Emma, you can be a gnome tinkerer. You can do it. Is that one of Mitch's too?
Yeah. I think
Your
so.
sister
Maybe
Mitch's?
I don't think this is. I think this is one that I got before she gave us those. This is a ink nib. It's just a piece of glass with this fluted spiral on it, and you dip it in and then draw with it. And it's kind of miserable to draw with, though. I'm not sure how it's supposed to work, but that's how it works with me. Is I get just like blobs. I either get like hardly anything or blobs.
But you could use it as a burnishing tool.
Could use it as a burnishing tool.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
It seems like it's a glass nib. Would you call that a glass nib?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess you could use it to like start a fire if you wanted to.
Have the sunshine through it.
Yeah. I have a ton of different nib holders here. And this is my replacement one for of that little liner pen I just showed you, because there was one time when I could not, it got clogged and I just could not get it unclogged. I spent like a couple hours, and then in a fit I went and ordered a new one, but it took a week to get here, so I managed to get the other one cleaned out. So I'm like, okay, this is my backup.
So now you have 3, but that one has a cap on it.
Yeah, it's because it's the other one has, they came with these caps on.
Okay.
This guy has his little cap too. They look like little red caps.
Oh, okay.
So these are like just a random assortment of nib holders. And a little pencil holder, that's good. These, like, I thought these cork ones were cool, but the cork gets loose on them, so I don't like that. And these guys are super cheap and very easy to find, but I still like the shape of them. Not very comfortable to me.
Emma used to use dip pens for stippling.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very meditative. Speaking of nibs, where's Tibbs?
This guy actually is pretty good. I wonder, like this, I don't know. The nib holders that I do use and like a lot are these. These are kind of a Japanese style where it's like kind of fat and it has a little bit of a pad on it. And these also have the holder where it can hold little and big nibs. Like it can hold a mapping nib or the sort of larger G-nib style. Bring in Tibbs in for
Yes. I can't remember who asked now. There. There we go. Wait. It's hard to figure out which way to move.
Yeah.
You have to move the opposite way that your brain thinks that you need to move to get it in camera. So yeah, I can't remember who asked now. It was Keith. Keith asked where Tibbs is. Speaking of nibs.
I got this in here, and I'm not sure why. I think this is a sharpening stone. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is to sharpen a knife on. I guess I put it in here because I have X-Acto blades in here, and I was like, maybe I'll sharpen those. But I think I've only ever used this to sharpen like a pocket knife.
Thank you, Kevin.
These guys, okay.
now we're cooking with gas. Where did that come from?
I used to ink my panel borders with this. This is a parallel ruling pen, and it's just basically got these 2 tines that you can set the width between them. So you can go from really wide, and then you can tighten it up and go very fine with it. And then I would use an eyedropper and just stick it in between, drop a little bit of ink in between here, and then you could rule it out. And they're great until the second that they're not, and then they're a huge mess.
Yeah. Do you see Keith saying that he bought one?
To use for frisket. Interesting.
It didn't work.
Did it have like blades on it or something?
Wait, isn't frisket the liquid stuff?
Oh yeah, the liquid frisket. There's like this stuff is also called frisket.
Oh, okay.
This stuff, frisket film, comes on a roll. Yeah, man, I've never been able to make liquid frisket work. And then I have a bunch of little compasses in here too.
Also with red caps.
This one actually has a red pencil lead in it.
Oh, that's not a cap, it's
Yeah.
pencil lead. Keith says that he saw another artist using a similar one, and they recommended it.
For doing liquid frisket?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I've seen like, there's a ton of people who have like, can use that liquid frisket and just, it rocks and it looks so easy. And every time I've used it, it's been like an absolute mess. And I don't know if I just don't let it dry long enough or what. But it's been rough. It's a terrible experience. I don't want to talk about it. So a lot of these guys are basically obsolete for me nowadays because everything that like this is all, I just do it all on the computer nowadays.
A circle?
Yeah, if I need a perfect circle, I'm usually penciling on the computer and I just use that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can never get rid of them. Not in a million years.
He says that he thinks it was Iraville. She uses Frisket all the time and it works well for her. But for Keith, it just pulled up the paper and ink. That is the opposite of what you want it to do.
That's been my experience.
Yeah.
I guess I have these from a project I was working on years and years ago that sort of died on the vine.
That's not from our old letterpress?
It is, but I kept it because of that project.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it'll come back one of these days, but probably not.
I'm still sad that we got rid of that, but there's not a single time that I would have used it. Yeah. Well, I mean, we did use it a little bit, but like since we moved, haven't had a single moment when I thought to use it.
And then I just got a bunch of pencils in here that I hardly ever use. I should actually pull these out and put them someplace handy. This guy is fun though. I like big old pencils like this. And I hardly ever draw with them anymore.
Hat. If you're playing bingo, there was a hat, Keith says.
That guy's fun. It reminds me of... Where did it go? I came across it recently. I found a little tiny box somewhere that just had all these little graphite sticks of different hardnesses. This is a 9B, so it's very, very soft. And it's already like making my fingers silver just from touching it. This is a general sketch and wash. What does that mean? Oh, it does kind of work as a wash. Nice. So these guys too, like these used to be my favorite like sketching pencils. This is just all graphite, no wood.
With a plastic cover?
With a little, it's got like a little plastic skin. Yeah, man, I should pull these out again and like start doing more sketchbook stuff with them. They're really fun because I mean you can go from lines like this to super fine lines all with one guy.
Emma, those used to be Emma's go-to.
I don't know if this pencil sharpener is a good place for it. Nope. This is the pencil sharpener I've been using for a lot of stuff. and it's kind of a trip. I don't know if it's worth it, but I like it. But I don't know if it's actually that helpful. It's like a 2-stage thing. Well, for one thing, it's called a cum, K-U-M, which is very funny to me. But it sharpens in 2 stages. So you sharpen it once, and you can see it. Can you see? It gives you this really long,
A long lead.
long lead, and then you stick that in the second sharpened part, and it only sharpens the lead. It doesn't really touch the wood, and it gives you just a slightly longer.
Can we see where you were putting it into the pencil sharpener?
So first time you do it, you go in here, and the second time you go in here. And it just gives you a super extra long lead. And this blue one is cool because it also has a little sharpener on this side and a sharpener on this side. Oops. Has this guy, this red hole, and this white hole for sharpening your lead holder leads.
What's the difference between the red and white?
This is like a 3mm lead. Is it 3mm? It might be like 2mm. Got my calipers here. I don't know. Maybe that's 1mm? Anyway. So this is like the standard lead holder size, and then this is a slightly larger size. That I don't know if I've ever seen a lead that goes in this side, only this side.
Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry. Emma, growing up, Emma had a favorite pencil sharpener that was the school style sharpeners.
Oh yeah.
That would go. I imagine, and when they moved, it came with them. But then when her parents moved again, she asked for it, and they had left it behind.
Oh. These general pencils, I have so many of these because when we lived on the Oregon coast, the closest thing to an art store we had was Fred Meyer's.
Yeah.
And like
that's not great.
I would run out of pencils and have to like run to Fred Meyer's, and like they kind of only carried these generals, which they're fine. They're just not super great.
For anyone that doesn't have a Fred Meyer's near their house, it's like a giant grocery store. Is this like,
and kind of like a Target at the same time.
Yeah.
So that is that. I'm gonna actually leave these guys out so I can play with them some more.
Seth does not live near Fred Meyer's and misses them.
Oh, here also is. This is like the story of my my artistic materials experience, where I find a tool and I'm like, this is the tool I'm going to use from now on, and I buy 50 of them, and then I switch tools and I end up with 50 of them. So I used to, back when I was penciling on paper all the time, my rough sketch was done with well, first it was done with these guys. I spent forever finding a non-photo blue pencil that I liked, and these are the Statler non-photo blue. Really liked these guys. They were wonderful. Before that, I was using these guys, the Sketcher by Karan Dash, or however you say it. And actually, I should make some marks with these. They're kind of interesting. Like, this guy is very like a pale turquoise, and this is more like a little bit, I guess, a little bit cooler. And then I decided I liked these guys. I decided I liked. Come on. I liked using red for my underdrawing, so I started using these guys. And these are actually really nice because the call erase pencils are they actually erase pretty good. As far as colored pencils go, they erase, like compared to most colored pencils, they erase very well. So I have a ton of these left over that maybe one of these days I'll get back to.
So, what are the advantages? What is the advantage besides erasing for the red over the two types of blue?
For me, it was that I can see the red better. Really, that was it. When I'm sketching, I could, and I don't really have a problem seeing the difference between red and graphite over the top of it, like. But I just found the red easier to sort of see what I was doing.
Hi, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
We're looking through some supplies, some art supplies in a drawer.
Yeah, actually, we're just kind of wrapping it up.
Oh, is that everything?
I think that's just about everything, yeah. Yeah. These are great though. Like this drawer is, like I said, these are from IKEA. Maybe this is, oh no, it's got a magnet on there. It's got a little bunny on it. Yeah, I got 4 sets of these IKEA drawers, and you can fit so many art supplies, especially if you make little trays like this. And in fact, our local library is getting a 3D printer in next month, and I'm kind of excited about exploring some more tray opportunities with that.
Oh, like perfectly customized specifically for the item.
Yeah, I also want to. I have this guy that I keep on my desk that is like these are like the tools that I grab all the time, and it's nice because it keeps them so you can just grab them. You don't have to I don't know. It's easier to grab, and it keeps them all nice and tidy. But I'm thinking about making an improved one of these once I have a 3D printer I can use.
That shape's good because no matter which way you angle your drafting table, they won't roll out of there.
Yeah, like within reason.
Yeah.
I've definitely cranked my table up too high and they've gone flying. Yeah. So back this guy goes. All right.
Well, if anybody else was playing bingo, I got bingo.
You got bingo?
I got bingo.
What'd you bingo?
And I got really close with others.
You're cheating though. You went and grabbed Tibbs.
Only because someone asked. But I don't feel like a winner. I'm just keeping track. And also, I got really worried because we've gone 2 weeks with no bingo. And I was all, well, do I need to make another one? Do I need to make a different bingo card? Are we missing some bingo spaces
elements?
Yeah, that could be in there? And I think we are missing some that could be put in there. But I did get bingo, so
there you go.
Maybe I'll just leave them for a bit longer unless people ask for something different. There is a higher dryer square. But we didn't get it today. Didn't get that mark today. So what I got was Remember the like reminder. We promoted another show. Tibbs had a cameo. There were nibs involved. There was a TV talk with Jason Voorhees, like TV or book or music or whatever.
Yep. Talking a little bit about Friday the 13th.
With Jason Voorhees. Carrie was flipping between cards.
Professional bingo player.
There was a Hat Blocks View. Also, there was airbrush magic because that was a very magical little airbrush tool that you talked about. And then I made a cameo. And there was a pencil. That's what I got. Those are the ones. And I suspect I may have missed one or two. So yeah, had a very productive day. You said this was going to be a short show, and we've almost gone an hour.
Yeah.
Carrie, if you think it counts, it counts.
There's no real rules.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call it quits. I got some other stuff I need to get done tonight before I can
we
chill
watch
out.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Or Murderbot. No, we watched Murderbot yesterday.
Murderbot.
Yeah. I finished watching Z Nation.
Congratulations, you can finally stop watching that.
I can finally stop watching it now. When my brother asks me if I had watched it, I can say yes, I watched every episode. And then when he asks me about some of the episodes, then I'll have something to talk about with him.
Nice. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. If you're going to any of the protests this weekend, please be safe.
Yes, thank you, Keith.
And be heard and be proud.
And if you're at Pride, be safe too.
Yep. And yeah, tell the people you love that you love them, and I love all you guys. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, bye everybody. Thank you.